What is up, everybody? It is me, DevilNeverCry, and I'm back with some more Devil May Cry for you. Now, it's been a little while since I've posted, unfortunately. I apologize about that, people. A bunch of things going on in life. One such thing being my birthday, of course, so I was rendered out of commission because of that whole debacle, and just, things tend to find a way. But we're here in Mission 5, playing as Nero. For some reason, because mods, of course, they allow us to do such sweet, simple things, such as change the characters we play as in this game. Along with that, you'll notice that I'm actually playing as the prototype Nero from DMC4. For those of you who don't know, one of the prototypes for Nero's design was this, essentially this attire you see here with the long flowing scarf and the purple attire. Just to sort of, show that Nero was sort of an amalgamation of concepts and ideas from both, from both Virgil and Dante, who, wear blue and red respectively, which, as we all know, color theory makes purple, but that is besides the point. This is Dante Mustai, of course, so of course you'll be seeing me get my ass absolutely kicked here. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit rusty when this was recorded. As I said, I haven't touched a console in about a week, which, yeah, for me is pretty strange. But I digress. We're back here, and we're getting right into the thing of things. But in regards to what you guys can expect on the channel, coming very, very shortly, as you guys know, I like to ramble during this series, speak what's on my mind, so to speak. But you'll be seeing some product reviews. I got stuck in with some products essentially that I was given to review by some very, very kind people. Your boy is supposedly moving on up in life, as they say. So expect a review on a product fairly soon. It is a gaming product, of course. Let's not beat around the bush here. Other than that, expect something really cool. In fact, where during this weekend there was London Comic Con, as there usually is twice a year, where I got to meet with a bunch of fellow DMC fans. There was a massive Devil May Cry meet, and something special happened. Something very special, so to speak. We managed to get in contact with a few people that actually worked on this game in some capacity. You already know Matt Walker, he doesn't need an introduction, the producer of DMC5, the ultimate hype man. So yeah, we received some words of wisdom from him. We also managed to speak to Ruben Langdon, who is the VA, the voice actor for Dante, and has been since DMC3. We also spoke to, I believe, Danielle Bergio, who is the voice actor, or voice actress, so to speak, and the mocap actress for Trish in DMC4, who I don't think they brought back for DMC5, unfortunately, but that's, I guess that has to do with the whole RE engine and what the hell they were going for and whatnot, but that's besides the point. And then, along with those other three that I've mentioned, we also spoke to all three composers for this game. So you've got, obviously, Casey Edwards, who composed Devil Trigger, the Summer Bop, as people like to call it, the ultimate track. One for the ages, so to speak. We also got to speak to Jeff Rona, who I believe is the composer for Crimson Cloud, V's theme. And of course, to round off the list, I believe it was Cody Matthews, who, is the composer for Subhuman. All of them, as I said, have worked in some capacity on this game. So it was interesting to speak to them and sort of get their thoughts, and it wasn't like a super crazy formal interview and stuff. It was more of a Skype thing. Just a couple of I'd say a couple. There was a room full of DMC fans essentially, who partook, and it was interesting to say the least. You don't often hear of people, I mean, who work in the industry or work on a game in such a capacity to, you know, who manage to take the time out of their day and, you know, reach out to fans and actually, you know, speak to them, which is interesting. So I got a bunch of footage of that. So yeah, do be on the lookout for that. That's coming very soon. Everything's literally been on hold whilst I've been away, which, you know, part of me feels like I needed some kind of break or some sort of getaway. Essentially because the past couple of months, all I've been doing essentially is just, you know, waking up, going to work, heading off to the gym, coming home, recording, streaming, and then, you know, off to bed, rinse and repeat. And, you know, I'm not gonna say it gets tiresome, because it's not, in a sense. I'd say it's probably draining trying to put something out every single day, especially when there's other things that you sort of want to be doing. But, you know, sometimes it takes precedent, because there's plenty of people who are, you know, interested in the channel and the content, and you know, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do go off and do whatever the hell I want instead of record something or stream something. But then at that point, you know, it's always sort of in the back of your mind, like, damn, like I should have did this today, or, you know, I could have been slightly more productive, which, you know, procrastination, I mean, it can be applied to essentially anything in life. Why we're talking about this, I don't know, people, but hey, it's midnight. The ramblings of a madman at midnight. But yeah, no, now that I've had that break, I've been eager to sort of get back into things, especially since there's, you know, so many good games out recently that I want to cover on the channel. I've got Resident Evil 4 to finish on the Switch, which I really want to wrap that up. That's been going on for a while now, intermittently on and off, and yeah, what have we got? We got about 10 days until Death Stranding drops, and you know, the moment that drops, I sort of just want to be playing that, nothing else really. Along with that, like, there's also a bunch of other games in my backlog I sort of want to just get through. Got Borderlands 3, which I've recently been playing, which, you know, don't get me wrong, I find it fun, obviously. Well, as fun as Borderlands can be, in all honesty. But I sort of want to wrap things up with that. No idea how far into the game I am, but I'd say I'm a ways in. And I also want to pick up Medieval, or Medieval, as some people like to say, PlayStation classic. You know, I've got stuck into a bunch of the PlayStation classics that have been remade. You know, I played through the Crash Bandicoot remake series. That was fun. The original game is hard as nuts. I'll say that much. I suffered through that, but you know, I had fun playing through all of that, especially, you know, a bunch of nostalgia. Then there were the Spyro remakes, which I absolutely adored. I mean, I love the games as a kid, and, you know, that love for the series still shows. I guess I platinumed all 3 of those games. I mean, it kind of helps that the platinums were, I wouldn't say easy, but they were easier than Crash Bandicoot's platinums, so to speak. So obviously Medieval's been on my list for a while, especially the price that it's launched. It's launched at a very, or substantially low price, to my surprise, you know. So that's something I definitely want to pick up. And then the game some of you may or may not have heard of is Control, made by, I believe, Remedy Studios, the people who, the creators of Max Payne, that series, which, again, an absolute classic on the PlayStation 2. Max Payne 3, even on the previous gen, was a wonderful game. They also made the Alan Wake series, which I haven't had all that much in terms of experience with, because that was an Xbox only ordeal, but The small amount I played was rather interesting, but yeah. So they put out a new game fairly recently, Control, and it looks fairly interesting, to say the least, you know. And from what I've heard, it's a somewhat challenging game. Some people say for the right reasons, some people say for the wrong reasons, but yeah, I want to pick those up. But then there's obviously Death Stranding coming out, and I really want to get stuck into that and get immersed in that. But yeah, well, it remains to be seen what's going to happen. I'm going to try and get through the majority of my backlog as much as possible, and we will go from there. And then of course we've got Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I've been playing recently as well, and there's just, yeah, there's too much to play. There's too many games and not enough time, which I guess is what being an adult is all about. We're fighting Geryon here, or the Elder Geryon Knight. Absolutely hate Geryon. DMC 3's debacle taught me to hate the boss, really. And this boss isn't all that different. I mean, in a sense that it doesn't consistently run away from you, it's a lot easier. But yeah, we're essentially hitting it with a taste of its own medicine. We're constantly going through ragtimes, getting things, you know, sorted. As you already know, I use a bunch of mods in this series. We've got a bunch of gameplay mods. We've got the Devil Breaker Switcher. We of course have got Turbo Mode. You know, no attack latency, all the good stuff, all the stuff you want to make this game feel super responsive, you know. But yeah, we're essentially hitting it with a bunch of ragtime breakage moves, hitting it with the good old Zawardo, which apparently is a mod. Somebody's made a Zawardo sound effect from obviously JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. You don't get the Dio sound clip, you just get the Zawardo sound effect, that weird, very iconic effect. You know, once you hear it, you know exactly what it is. But I digress. I've been rambling far too long. This is probably coming up on something close to what, 13 minutes. But I'm liking this format of video. Plenty of you seem to be liking it as well, sticking in there with the ramblings of a madman. But I guess, you know, there's only so much you can say before things start to get stale, you know. As much as I love DMC, a lot of you probably would be annoyed or find the content rather boring if all I did was just be like, okay guys, so we're gonna go straight from a high roller into a triple jump cancel of the caliber and this, that and the other and etc.